The following portion of Showcase is sponsored by JES Foundation Repair. The changing weather in Virginia can wreak havoc on our home's foundation, basement, and crawl space. So here to help us de-stress over home repair worry is certified field inspector Brandon Connor. Thank you for coming back to Showcase.
Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
You're the one helping us out here. Tell us about what JES Foundation Repair does.
So what we do is we handle anything that's going to be below your first floor. So whether it's your crawl space, your basement, your slab, we're going to come out, do certified field inspections on the house, talk to you about your goals and objectives, and then give you a plan to repair the problems that you're seeing with your foundation of your home.
Okay, so can we talk about the winter? Because this winter has been crazy. Homeowners all across the country seeing unprecedented snowfall. We had the ice storms. We had extreme fluctuating temperatures where it's winter one day, then it feels like spring. What does this actually do to our home, and do we need to get this checked out?
So it wreaks havoc on your foundation, right? So when the temperatures start to get cooler and the rain stops. So we've been in drought in Virginia for a significant amount of time. The soil will shrink, and then you get these big cracks in the soil, and then the air is not very good at holding the house up, right? So the house will start to shift and settle down into those cracks, and then when the soil starts to warm up and then the water comes in the spring, that's going to create floods, and it's going to create these highways for rivers to flow down underneath the homes into your basement and your crawl space and create problems. It also, with your crawl spaces, creates problems with your floor framing system. The wood starts to shrink up when it gets cold as well, because cold temperatures cause things to shrink.
Right.
And then you'll start getting those cracks that we talked about last time, and the difficulty opening and closing doors. Those are some of the signs and symptoms that you want to look for to call us.
So what happens if we don't get that treated?
The problems only get worse. There's only one thing that can happen. They get worse and they cost you more money to repair. So if you start to see those problems, it's better to nip it in the bud early, because that's going to be your least expensive repair,
right?
And it's going to solve the problem for the long term as long as you're using JES.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If you've got like a basement or a crawl space that has leaked before, but only one time, do we just wait until that happens again, or is this another scenario where you're saying like we need to get this checked out to make sure it's not
I have heard
thing?
So many times, you know, Brandon, I only had this one little leak in the corner. I would sop it up with a towel, no problem. And then this past rain, I came down and there's 4 inches of water in my entire basement, and I don't know what happened. And I always say, what happened was your basement was telling you needed to do something and you didn't, right? So you don't want to wait.
Getting a guilt trip from the basement.
Yeah, you don't want to wait. When your basement or your foundation is telling you you have a problem, you want to get ahead of it and fix it, because water is what's happening when it's doing a little bit. It's building up pressure, hydrostatic pressure on those walls and that foundation. And then once it gets in, it's going to explode, and it's going to be a river, and you're going to have a big flood, and it's going to be a big problem.
Okay, so we need to pay attention. If we've got those water leaks, if we've got the cracks like you're saying that are inside the house, maybe the doors aren't opening the way that they used to, they're kind of getting stuck. Those are all signs that we need to give you a call, because
people usually think it's a cosmetic issue at that point, but it is a sign of a deeper, darker issue that you want to get repaired, because your home, for most people, is your biggest asset, your most important investment, and you want to make sure you're repairing, preserving, and protecting that base of your most important asset.
That's why we're giving you a call. You know exactly how to help fix this. So if you've seen any of these warning signs, now is the time to visit JESWRIC.com. You can also call to get that free inspection. Get that scheduled right now, 804-293-3297. Also a great deal going on right now, 0 interest, no payment for 24 months. See CFI for details. And again, JES is going to help you out with all of those repairs. Even if you think it's a little one, you need to make sure you get it checked out right now. This segment of Showcase was sponsored by JES Foundation Repair.